Good afternoon. It's Christy Glandon, and we are going to look at our science standard for this third grade lesson. Hannah is with me. She's my student for today. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the central focus of our lesson. Students will understand that the Earth's surface is made up of saltwater and freshwater features, and students will know that there are bodies of water on the Earth that are based on their characteristic and location. This science standards of bodies of water follows the standards on landforms that we studied in the unit or in the week before. So now we've moved from landforms to bodies of water. So the standard for today is 3.E.2, where we compare the Earth's the structures of the Earth's surface using models or 3D diagrams. And more importantly, we're going to look at standard 3.E.2.1 is where we compare the Earth's saltwater and freshwater features. And today we're going to look at oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, and we're not looking at glaciers, but that's included in the standard. So the objective for today is students will know that there are bodies of water on the surface of the Earth, and they will be able to show their understanding as they create a flipbook to draw, label, and record characteristics of bodies of water. And our vocabulary for today, and we would use this in the classroom on the word wall. They would use it on their sort. But the vocabulary words used in this lesson are saltwater, freshwater, water, feature, oceans, rivers, lakes, seas, streams, marshes, ponds, and then the other two words will be part of the differentiation. If I have students maybe who finish early or AIG students, they could go and find out what brackish and estuary, they'll have pictures on these two, but these words will be displayed on the smartboard, so students will be able to look at those as they refer. So the first thing that we're going to do is our hands-on activity, is we are going to do a hands-on experiment, and the third graders will be scientists for today. So what they have are 2 glasses of water, and for the purpose of today we're just going to use glasses. In the classroom I would have clear pitchers of water, 2 clear pitchers of water on each table, and then some small cups. So what the students will do is make a scientific method. All right, so they will gather together in their groups of probably 4 or 5, and they will come up with a hypothesis, an observation, and a conclusion together as their drink. So Hannah, if you were working with a group of students, what could you do as your hypothesis? Hypothesis is something that you are going to try to figure out. If you look at these 2, why are you doing this science experiment? If you think, okay, one looks a little...
Well, it's a little cloudy.
All right, and what about the other?
And it's a little more clear. So
your hypothesis would be, I would think that that the glass on the left is something.
And then, is that an observation? If, like, you can realize that the air bubbles, is that an observation?
An observation is anything that you use your senses for. You look at it, smell the difference. You can taste it if you want.
I'm good. But my hypothesis could be that the one on the left is a little more cloudier than this one, and then the right one, and then also that the air bubbles in the left one, which is the cloudy one, are more they're more together, but in the clear one, which is on the right, they're kind of more spread out.
All right. So remember that we're using salt water and fresh water. So do you think the glass on the left is salt water or fresh water?
I think it's salt water because most of the water I drink is a little more clear.
Okay. So that would be your hypothesis. I feel the drink on the what? Which one do you think?
I think the drink on the left is salt and the drink on the right.
So now that's your hypothesis. Students could write, I feel the water on the left is salt water because it's cloudy. Or I feel the water on the right, and we could have these labeled A and B or 1 and 2 is this. And then That's their hypothesis. Their observation is going to try to prove their hypothesis. So if you feel the glass on the left is salt water, you're going to try to prove that by your observation. So what observation could you use to try to confirm that?
I used my eyes. That makes it look cloudy, and then you can also taste it. Can I taste it?
Yes? If you think that's salt water, because that's what you're trying to prove. That's salt water?
Mm-hmm.
You want to get some fresh water to wash it out? All right, so on your conclusion, did you prove your hypothesis?
Yeah.
Okay, that the drink on the left is salt water. All right, so students could use this hands-on activity just to get them to understand what's salt water, the difference in the two. Would you feed our dog, or would you give our dog salt water?
No, I would.
How do you think that would be harmful?
Well, salt is not good for you, period, if it's even in a solid form. So
Right.
it wouldn't be able to be healthy for you.
It'll make you really thirsty. All right, so we're going to watch a video, or a quick video on the bodies of water. And so we'll watch this really quick.
Water is everywhere. We find water in lakes, rivers, oceans, ice, and even underground. There's so much water on Earth that Earth looks like a blue marble from space. We don't know of any other planet that has water the way ours does. Hold up a globe and look at how much blue you see. More than 2/3 of the Earth is covered by bodies of water, mainly oceans. When you look closer and closer and closer, you see more and more places where water is found. As water moves from place to place, it changes shape. The sun heats water to make it rise into the sky where it travels. Water can also change phase from liquid water to ice or disappear into the air as water vapor. No matter what its properties are, the total amount of water on Earth does not change. We can recycle it, but we can't make new water. The number of people on Earth is growing, so we really need to know where all of the water is and how to take care of it. People need water to live. We use it to drink, prepare food, bathe, and to stay healthy. We also use water for cleaning, recreation, shipping, travel, and as a source of food. All fish, animals, and insects need water too. Water is needed for healthy plant growth.
All right, so I think we can conclude water is important in everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. We go to the next one. So, can you think of one thing from that video that maybe you didn't know before, or that was interesting to you?
I thought it was really interesting that we can never get more water, and that we have the exact same amount of water, even though we may use it, like, we may use it to flush the toilet, but that water's not gone. It's going to be reused at some point,
Right.
and that we can't get more water, even though.
We just have to take care and conserve what we have. All right. So we're going to watch this Google slide. And as we watch it, I want you to think about, as we go through the things, something that you want to remember. As we go through here, we're going to discuss each topic. So we're going to focus on 6 different bodies of water throughout this lesson. So oceans. An ocean is a large body of salt water that surrounds a continent. There are 4 major oceans: the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, and Arctic. The Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. All right, so here's some did you know. Which ocean have you been to?
The is the Atlantic.
The Atlantic.
My teacher always reminded me, you're going at the beach. So you're
Very good. At the Atlantic. Here's some important facts. Did you know that 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water? Until the year 2000, there were only 4 oceans: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic. In 2000, scientists labeled a new ocean the Southern Ocean, which is near Antarctica. Not only do oceans provide a home for thousands of plants and animals, they also help regulate the Earth's water and temperature. The oceans keep the Earth warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. That's why it feels so nice to jump into the ocean in the middle of the summer. All right. So here's a map of the oceans. So we are in the United States. Oops. We are in the United States, and we live in the Atlantic Ocean is the one that's close to us. That's why if you have a hurricane or something that forms over the coast of Africa, that's why it normally comes our way. Then you have the Pacific Ocean on the coast of California, the Arctic Ocean at the top, up in the south, the Atlantic Ocean's in the north, the Southern Ocean is in the south, then you have the Indian Ocean, and then the Pacific Ocean wraps around. That's why it's the largest. All right, the next thing that we have, so we have oceans, rivers. A river is a large flowing body of fresh water that flows across land and usually empties into a sea or ocean. Fresh water can be found in many other bodies of water too, such as ponds, streams, and swamps. So have you ever been to the river? Where would you find the rivers?
I'm in Tennessee.
All right, but where have you been where it's located? Normally in the mountains?
Yeah, normally not so much in the mountains. It can be anywhere like the Mississippi River.
Yeah. Major rivers flow through and they empty out usually into the ocean or the sea. All right, so oceans, rivers, marshes. A marsh is an area of land covered with shallow water and plants such as cattails. And a marsh, if you go to Myrtle Beach and you go down to Murrells Inlet, that's the marsh. And it comes in and out with the ocean tides.
Sharks live in there.
Probably. Alligators live in marshes too. All right, so the next one is ponds. A pond is a non-flowing body of water that are smaller than lakes. Ponds are commonly man-made, and they normally feed water cattle or use it for fishing or whatever.
Yeah.
So a pond and a stream is smaller than a river. A stream often flows into rivers, lakes, and oceans. So you may have a big river, and then you may have a smaller stream off to the side, but are they saltwater or freshwater?
They're freshwater.
Fresh.
Is that a stream?
That's a stream in the backyard.
In some parts it looks like a river.
Right. And if the water rises, there's a lot of rain, it could be a river. All right, so then you have lake. A lake is a large body of fresh water surrounded by land on all sides. So that's a lake.
Looks so pretty.
It is pretty. All right, then the last one, or the last two, are brackish. It's a mixture of salt water and fresh water. Brackish is often found whenever fresh water flows into the ocean or another body of water. It's that real dark color. If you go to the beach, like the inland water where it flows from.
Is it like where the sandbars sometimes are, like behind the sandbars, where it's
Normally.
not so much, it looks like sewage water, not like water off the street that goes into the ocean. I never said it's
Yeah.
not the greatest. It's not.
That's the mixture of salt water and fresh, and you're right, it doesn't smell good normally. And then the last one is estuary. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the area where a freshwater stream flows into an ocean or a saltwater lake. All right, that's a very pretty place up there. So those are our two extra words.
It's really pretty once you zoom in on the estuary.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's in 5th grade that you can see like there's all kinds of little nooks and crannies where water has came through the
Very
sand.
nice. All right, so we have discussed each of those bodies of water. So what we would do now, we're not going to finish it to this afternoon. But as students finish up the discussion, we would take questions and answers and discuss those a little bit more. The students will go back to their desk, and as independent practice, they will work on their flip books on bodies of water, and they will compare freshwater, the definition and pictures. They would match those up, and then they would use that flip book. They would turn that in, and I would grade it and check over it. And that would be to serve as a resource as we finish up this unit to take our summative assessment at the end of the unit. So we would discuss the bodies of water and then do a review of the landforms. So that is a mini version of my lesson for science for 3rd grade. Thank you.